So hello and welcome back to our early game exploration guide. Second episode, it's actually, in real life, it's just a few seconds on from the first episode. Decided to record two at a time. That way I also don't lose track between episodes. So we're looking to get our first settler onto this spot here. And I'm delighted to see that Barb disappear into a different direction. There's actually a river here, so we can't get very far. So now here, yeah, we want to hop into the water and maybe bypass that. Kyoto, we need a slinger. We absolutely need one. And we need, we're gonna crow again in a minute. And we might get a... First of all, we're gonna pay for a workboat. And then we might build another one because our border is gonna expand there. And then maybe the next settler or the granary first. Sometimes I like to be at 5 pop, so we can maximize the production tiles around the city. And your settlers you should always escort. I mean, we had Vision here, so he's pretty safe there. If this was a scout, for example, right? That's why I said in the first episode, one of the best ruins you can find is the promotion to the scout. We could have taken that camp by now. So he can go here, and now he's gonna get covered. That's a workboat. It's gonna give us an extra hammer and signs as well. And also that is something you should consider as well. What do your luxuries give you, right? Because in the game you need to get science and culture. They're really, really important, right? So if you know you get like science from your luxuries, that can allow you to sort of maybe bypass the library here, right? Also like when you're playing as Babylon, you get the Great Walls of Babylon, the unique building. That also gives you science, right? So look at all things at your disposal and then decide what you want to do. So I hope that nobody else shows up here now. We need to get past that guy. And... or what? Okay, we got very lucky there. We need to get there. The slinger is coming in a minute and then we're gonna do that camp here. And this one is totally irrelevant. Okay, in the first episode we sort of spoke about what we want to do first. Get construction so we can improve to luxuries, or do we get to barracks to get more culture, faith, and science? And I think for the time being we're okay for happiness, right? So we're gonna go for military theory, and we can also get the well, not in the capital, but certainly in that city. It's not gonna be on the river. Stonehenge is gone very late actually, turn 32. Okay, so we're taking a detour to get to camp. I think that's okay because we're going authority. And now we're gonna try and grab that ruin down there. And unfortunately the Fountain of Wheels is rough terrain. Yeah, we want to get an extra hammer and science. It's worth delaying the settler for a little bit. Also, while we're at one city here, we're gonna discover it takes more quickly than when we are on two. Go over here, that is good. You go up, you follow him. And the slingers are tough enough to take a hit from those. And that is shit. Oh wow, cool. That is the one I was talking about. So he's tough enough now to take on those barbarian brutes. And he also got extra vision, which is gonna get us the next level even quicker. So that is the good thing. Bad thing here is that guy. Can you take 2 hits? It's 5. There are 8. Oh. But first of all, I'm gonna settle the city here. I'm gonna work that. Oh, what? Okay, we can't. Second city. This time we haven't really got the question of monument or shrine first, because we already decided we want to get a quick pantheon. We want to get a religion, so in order to get it, we're gonna go shrine first. And then we're gonna try and, because we're going authority, we're trying to get more culture from that opener, right? The second point where it says gain culture when you kill units and clear barbarian camps. So that's what we want to be aiming at. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm going to hit this guy twice, and I hope that that is enough that those two can't kill him. Should be okay. But yeah, but actually didn't know what to do. Poor guys. Okay, that's what I meant in the, was it the last episode where I said about mountain hopping? That's sort of Milius maps. You can get around the globe, hopping from island to island, you can get all the way around. And that way you can find some ruins if you're lucky. And the other thing you can find, as I mentioned it last time already, you want to find city-states, right? And the more city-states you find, the more likely there's a mission there which you can sort of do. There's always one where you're meant to find a natural wonder. And if you just say you get 40 influence, and if it's friendly, that means like you get like 2 culture or 1 culture for 10 turns. It makes a difference, right? It would be like having plus 33% culture, you know, or you get some extra food or something. And you want to keep an eye on those city-state missions throughout the game. Here's one, improve horses. It's pretty cool, isn't it? 41 influence, which would mean we get some extra food in the capital, and we get 132 gold. That would mean that's enough to pay for the next workboat, which incidentally we just built here. Yeah, those guys I'm gonna go shock on later. On my samurai, we're gonna go drill. And because we're saying it's over-explained early game, you can get up to, I think it's, oh, which is it, 35? No, you can get up to 45 XP from barbarians. So he's got, at the moment, he's on 13, right? So you can get one more promotion on 30 XP, and then after 45, you stop getting XP from killing or attacking barbarians. And you can get up to 75 XP from city-state units. So Kyoto is done. I think we want to get out. Actually the next settler, but let's get another slinger out and then the settler. I want to have an escort. I want to play it properly. We're also going to keep 1 or 2 units here at all times, just in case one of those 2 guys attacks us. We have to defend that city. It's really, really important, as is the wonder here. Okay, Pantheon time. We talked about that in the first episode. I want to talk a little bit more. So in our game, we decided we want to go with the shrine first, because we're going to get a specific pantheon, which is the goddess to see here. We got fish. We're gonna find more whales here along the coast, I'm sure. So we can get our monopoly, which is plus 10% science. When you choose your pantheon, as I said, if you want to have a specific one that's really, really beneficial to you, Civ, you go shrine first, and then you try and get the one you want or need, right? If nothing too important is there, or then you just go monument first, and you get your pantheon a little bit later, maybe between turn 45 and 50. Or maybe even earlier, sort of depends on how lucky you are in the beginning. If you build a monument first, it can take like 8 turns or 10 or 12, depending on the terrain. If you get a production boost from the ancient ruins or something like that. I don't want to talk about all of them, but some of the better ones. This one here, for example, that's something I really, really like. You can choose that in almost any game. And the nice thing about it is the 2 culture and faith from councils. Council is not the greatest building in the game, but you do get it very early, or when you go for the wheel, which actually we don't want to. Like I said, we're going to go here, but you do get it from the council, right? You could arguably research this first. If you got really good terrain, you could try and get the Stonehenge. But if you get a council, right, you can choose that as your first building. You get 1 science, and then 1 science, 2 culture, and 2 faith, right? That's like having a monument, a shrine, and a council rolled into one. And then you get an extra bit of faith for every 5 citizen, right? So that is, it's pretty good. It also helps you sort of to a quick start in the game. This one is sort of, this one can be a good one. If your luxury resource is silver or gold or something like that, that requires a mine, or copper, that is a good one. This is also one that you can almost always take. Especially on the higher levels, you can sort of expect AIs to get their pantheons pretty quickly. And once all 8 of them have been founded, you get faith for monuments, and then you get like 4 extra food, production gold, science, and the capital. The moment all 8 of them have been done. Got a commerce. I want to try that one day. Many of them are sort of terrain dependent. God of the Open Sky can be very, very good. God of the Sea is what we're going to take here. When you sort of play as the Incans, right, they usually sort of spawn in the middle of mountains. Then there's an amazing one down here, Goddess of Nature. Or if you have more than one wonder, natural wonder, you can go. Oh, it's the same one, isn't it? Huh. It's the same one. So this one is amazing, right? Imagine you're the Incans, you spawn in the middle of mountains, and then you find a natural wonder, or even 2. Then this one, you can't get it quickly enough. So you're definitely gonna build a shrine first and take advantage. This one, like a desert, you know, if you spawn in a tundra, Goddess of the Hunt is one thing. There's another one. This is from camps. One thing you want to consider is that some of these can take a long time, right? Building those camps or plantations takes time, right? You need to build workers first, and some of them you need to chop, like forests and jungles. So it might not be quick enough for you to get a religion. So keep that in mind. There's another one. Where is that one? Oh, this one here. If you spawn in a tundra, this one can be amazing because you get the faith, the food, and the culture without improving those, right? So if you spawn somewhere up here, you get all the benefits immediately when you work the towns. Often when you start tradition, you goddess of beauty, gives you the extra engineer and create artist points. So look at your civ, what it does, look at your terrain, and then you can decide on what's best for you. God of the Sea is going to help us. So we get an extra hammer from our fishing boats. We're going to get more food from being coastal. We're going to get some faith. And the extra food is actually important, so we can build settlers more quickly, right? And we also on our second social policy. Now, most people will go down the left-hand side, right? I've seen Martin Fensker once go down the other side. There is an amazing additional map, which is I think it's called the Highlands. If you turn on Raging Barbarians on that, they really absolutely are raging. And in that one, you can sort of go down the other way because you'll be doing so much killing and generating so much science, you can progress up the tech tree really, really quickly. But usually you want to go this one here because you only get the bonus from when your borders expand. And more importantly, you want to get to Imperium, you want to get the free settler, and then you also get the bonus 40 science and culture when you found your next cities. You're unlikely to conquer a city. You can conquer cities quite early if you're playing civs like I once played as Greece. I churned out hoplites. I went way over the supply cap. I built like 14 hoplites and just had them next to each other and gave them drill and attacked the Aztecs which were next to me. And he got a Jaguar in the Eagles, so no slouches, and we just took the capital. The hoplites were just too strong to get a bonus from being next to each other, and then you can have like a medic hoplite behind them. So pretty strong stuff. Boudica's got the Pictish warrior, which is quite strong early on. Or if you're Babylon, you get your bowman, which is a replacement archer who's got indirect fire, one of the strongest unique units in the game. So we're going to go this side here. With each policy, we're going to get one extra production in the capital. And as I said, I've played this already up to turn 100, choosing progress. And later we're going to decide on turn 100 how far we are here compared to the other save far where we are taking progress, right? So we're going to compare our tech and policy progress in both versions. So we finished the turn. Do I want to hit this guy? I think I can. I'd like to milk this just a little bit to get him at least the first promotion. So he's got 4. So we need 3 hits. And that is the next one here. Scout found another rune. There's something else I meant to talk about. Choosing your social policy tree here. If you got like certain civs, you really should look at their unique abilities. Like Carthage, for example, they get an instant lighthouse when they found a city, right? So there's a very nice policy here where you get +3 science and food from city connections, no? And Similar thing for the Iroquois, where the forests form city connections, or when you're playing Askia, where the rivers form city connections. Playing those civs, you should look at progress, quite regardless of what you want to achieve in the game. As Askia, you want to conquer, that's for sure. But sometimes the quickest way to conquer is by not going authority, but progress. It's one of my favorite combinations, going progress first into authority. And that might be what my other save file is about, right? So, here we get the slinger, which is going to be escort for the next settler, which we want to move down here somewhere. And we got a quest for an encampment over there, that's good. And here we can take scouting. Oh, we got two. Oh, okay, I didn't look at that. From the last rune we got vision and all that, so we got the XP from revealing those tiles. This is the promotion I was talking about. I'd usually take as a third promotion if I didn't go for sailing. We don't need it here, so we can go scouting. We can have a little, oh, that's a hill and a ruin. Oh, two ruins, okay. So, oh, we can get this one in one turn and then go back, or got this one first and then carry on. Well, we've revealed all that already, so we might turn back on this way, or go up here maybe even. It looks promising as well. There must be a passage here. And we've got another guy. He needs this one for the promotion. And yeah, we can kill him. Or some random scout comes along here. And so we get the money and the culture. And that guy, already sent him halfway to down here. So, and now we're working the food tile, okay. We got 3 bison here, crazy. So we can get here in one. Let's do that. Additional land. Oh, that was this. Oh, that was good. And that was really good. So we can move that. This. Oh, we're not going to crow next turn. Okay, let's crow first. And that's another thing you can keep an eye on. You can play around with the tiles here. See, it could, for example, be that we can go here, still crow next turn, but have an extra hammer available for the shrine. But in this case, we don't. And actually, you can decide what is more important. In fact, we might want to get a shrine quicker. If we crow in 1 or 2, it doesn't make a difference here. He's got a promotion. And we do want to do this camp. We also gotta leave somebody here. Let's try not to get him away here. Ah, shit, that's what I wanted. That was actually bad. Shouldn't have done it. Get inside your territory and heal quicker, and keep this guy here, and I'm gonna move those two over here after that city is settled. Okay, what do we get here? A golden arrow. That's not perfect. And we need to generate more faith as quickly as possible. So, oh, there's another. Oh, do we want to go all the way around here? Okay. So on a higher difficulties, you want to settle, or you want to get your religion before turn 100. 100 is sort of quite late. Up to turn 85, it should be pretty safe. It sort of depends on who's in the game. Some civs will sort of generate a lot of faith very quickly. So next turn we can get that guy, just get a little bit closer. Okay. And he can come already. Okay, that's now a target for 2 city-states, that's good. We got a quest for a slinger here, but can't sort of afford to waste production at the moment. Okay, that's an extra pop for Osaka. I'm gonna take that out of here now. We don't need to grow so quickly. Get the extra hammer, and 2 gold is gonna help us more. And then we're gonna get a well after. I like buildings that give me production, because that sort of accelerates everything else I wanna do. And now we really need a granary here. And then, hang on, did I? Okay, let's do that. That's a bit crazy here. Grow a bit. Yeah, and keep an eye on your tiles, which ones you're working. When you sort of pop settler, I don't know how it determines which one it takes. Usually, if it takes, well, if it's locked, it should take the worst one actually. So for now, we could also try grow a little bit quicker. It doesn't change the granary, for example. See, it stays on 3 turns, but here we're gonna grow quicker. That's how I'll do it. And there's a quest to conquer a city-state. Another ruin over here, okay. So I meant to go over up there, but sort of the ruins determine where we go next. So I think we want to settle on that spot here. We can build a fort here later for canal if we need to get through here. Next, and there is Morocco. Morocco is usually very strong, especially early on, but sometimes if they're left alone, they can run away with things. Okay, there's more islands here, so we might find some more ruins, who knows. Production Kyoto. We need to get a worker out as well. Improve that, and then... So we sort of, in the first episode, were thinking about trying to get the terracotta army. We'd have to go this way, but we certainly want to get quarries here. And then over here, or maybe this one. So happiness is an 83 at the moment, but that's gonna go down. And we can sell our whales. I'm talking about selling our whales. Something you also want to consider when you choose your tech path. And Pocatello is one of the weakest civs in the game. Which way do I want to go? I might just come back to that in a second. So we found here. And keep and once we're on 100, we can here for the next workboat. Let's go shrine first again. You need to be on about plus 16 or something to sort of get a reasonably early religion. So we need a little bit more than what we have at the moment. So that guy is going to come over here. Okay. I went to him. I meant to get... Oh, I can't. That's a shame. So that'll help our cause a little bit. It tells you here in how many turns you can found a religion. And that's obviously going to decrease. But at the moment it would be 85 turns. If it stayed on 8, which it will not. It's going to be quite a few turns less. I'll move him over. Okay, we can also move very quickly through the desert, so let's do that. There's a city-state, and I see here's what I was talking about earlier. Quest to find a natural wonder. There's still quite a few in the games, so if you keep popping them one after the other. 36 influence, just make us friends for a little while. It's a bit unfortunate here, but it might just be long enough to get a free military unit as well. So let's do that. Knowing my luck, another brute is gonna spawn here. And next turn we can get... Oh, 3 of them want that done now. Cool. I see now I like hugging the coast a bit more because we got a lot of vision here. So he can still get a promotion and him as well. And I think we're gonna go down this way. So the wheel first anyhow. See, we're on 55% now. It's going down quickly. Getting the worker here, and then once we get construction, we can improve that. And we might be able to buy a luxury if we have to. Eventually, I want this guy to be a medic too. It's one of the most important games and units in warfare. Would you believe it? Not because he's terribly strong, but you can put him. You can put him on a hill, or later once you get this promotion, on a mountain here, and he can look this far, right? So you know all about your enemy that you want to know, and then maybe you can go back a couple turns and act as a medic. Really, really important. So for now, I want him just to be a little bit tougher while I'm still exploring here. He got shock too, so he's on 32 HP. Does it go to 35? I think it's 45 you can get. And do I wanna... I could kill him now, or I could wait and get him some more XP. But we got some quests everywhere here, so let's just pop that. So, so we're gonna get this one, that one, and Kathmandu is almost the same one, so that's pretty good. With our worker, he can do that. And I'm gonna build the barracks first. I'd just like to grow one more time before the next settler. And the science and the culture is gonna be welcome. And also in the meantime explore some more over here using one of those guys. And then I think we should be aiming at 4 to 6 cities. And then we're gonna make up our minds about what to do next. So we got a whole lot of great general points, and then once the first one comes, we get our bonus. And I forgot to pay for the workboat here. Okay, that guy. Let's get down for the desert here. Okay, he wants to be friends. Now that is something we also should talk about. Diplomacy is really, really important. And choosing your friends and your enemies wisely can sort of help you or also destroy you in the game. So he's one of our neighbors, and so is the other guy. So he's pretty friendly at the moment, but it's nothing spectacular yet. He also is reasonably friendly at the moment, but you should watch out if those two sort of become enemies, and they are neighbors. They're very, very close neighbors. So chances are they're gonna start hating each other. So if you say, "Oh, Attila, let's be friends," then Darius here, he's gonna say, "Well, fuck you. We don't like you anymore." So until they sort of decide, I just decide on this one. And I also don't want to have a declaration of friendship with my closest neighbor in an authority game, right? Because we might not want to stay friends with them for too long. So let's kind of have a look here, and then maybe gonna hop back down on land down here. Okay, that improved our tower quite a bit. So here and here, there's whales and there's another camp. Okay, we can take care of that. And oh, wow. He's also pretty tough. So Poland is one of the strongest civs in the game. Morocco is pretty good as well. Rome in the right hands is very strong. Attila not so much. Persia can be good if you know how to handle them. And here we got a quest for a great general, and we can have a look because we did those camps here and get all the bonuses from the city-states. And that's why it's important to discover them early. Every single little thing that you sort of discover or whatever helps you. You just want to be as quick as possible in the beginning of the game. And this is going to be a problem. I think there's only going to be one tile from which we can attack. So he's taking damage from somebody. Okay, let's hug the bottom coast here. And yeah, seriously, this guy attacked him? Amazing. So Osaka, so we're at turn 56 anyhow. 60, see, no, it says 69 turns, which would be way too late. It's turn 125, so we need to get more faith. Get 2 more faith coming from this one here once the borders expand. We'll go here first though. So I absolutely want the next city up here somewhere. There's a lot of fish and whales about. In fact, we can grab the monopoly by putting a city here. We need 5 out of 8 whales to get that. So we got 2 here and then we get an extra 3. So that city is crucial and we're gonna get that next. It's a bit of a shame to be using the capital all the time to build settlers. Also, I think they're gonna get a barracks over there. What do we want to get? Let's get a worker first. Gonna save up some money for the next settler. We get over here, we're gonna pay for a workboat or two. And we want to improve some stuff over here because those tiles are not amazing. Not amazing for production anyhow. And we're gonna need that amber for a little bit of happiness. And we can talk a little bit about happiness before we finish this episode. I'm not gonna go into the full thing. We just talk about 2 points here in the game. There's 2 crucial points. One of them is the 50% mark, and then the other one is the 35% mark. And as long as you're over 50%, your civ is generally happy, right? And if you go below that, you get some negative modifiers, but those are not as bad as you might think. That's quite important to know when you consider growing your cities or not. So the negative modifiers you get here is when you're in a war, you get negative combat modifiers if you're below 50%, and you also get a modifier to growth and to settler costs, or building units in general is going to be slower. Like this worker is a little bit slow, but other than that, it doesn't affect your buildings, which is maybe the most important thing. And sort of you gotta offset the benefit of having larger cities and being able to work more tiles against the negative ones of not growing so quickly, which you don't want to do anyhow when you're unhappy, right? And maybe reducing units a little bit slower. So for the moment, being at 45% is quite okay. And then there are certain buildings which sort of can rectify that situation pretty quickly. So next, I think, we might... That's another thing you can do in the game. You can look at the tech costs if you're considering certain wonders, like sailing, for example. And progress is out of 141. Techs become cheaper the more civs have researched them. So here 141 means compared to 149. I don't know what the base cost is, but I do know that most people got sailing already. Right? Writing is a bit more expensive, and so is mathematics and masonry as well. So we might actually still be in with the chance of getting this one. And the other thing, however, is policies required 4 have 2. So can we get 2 policies until we get that? One is pretty imminent, and the other one depends on kills more than anything else. And we might have some trouble getting that camp up there with just a slinger. We got 1.5, so that's a hill. And see, keep exploring. And we got another thing done here. It's again a bit unlucky. It's only 36. So that won't be long enough friendship to get a free unit, but we're not gonna say no to it. And he does 21, he heals for 10 each turn. It'll be a long time till we can get that. Unless I get him into the water to sort of deliver the final push here. The final hit. Do we have somebody here? That's maybe Mosunkani even. We don't know. Pretty far away actually. Okay, that's our free settler here, and so we're looking at 2 more cities here at the moment, and then we really have to watch that it doesn't get below 35, because at the second point, that's when you start getting rebellions and revolts and sort of barbs around your place. If you're playing authority, that might actually be a good thing if you got units around and take care and you get science and culture from killing them. So let's get that one. And then we also get the 40 culture and science when we actually found the next 2 cities. If there was a luxury available right now here, I'd probably pay for it in order to get that settler here quickly. He can go swimming. And we're on 12 faith now, so it's getting a bit quicker, but we need to accelerate quite a bit more. That is done, and we can also maybe 5 turns. We got a hand back here. 25. Let's start thinking about roads. There's also a thing about pre-building roads, but I'm not gonna... I might get into that in the next episode. Actually, this one is getting just a little bit over time now. So we're gonna call it a session here. We're on turn 60, and then in the next episode we're gonna try and get as quickly as we can up to turn 40, and then we can compare this game here to my other save file where I've gone progress instead of authority. So until then, I wish you all the best and have a good time. Bye bye.